KICI-LP 105.3 FM is Iowa City's nonprofit local radio station. We rely on listener support, and you can help us continue to air great programming like Democracy Now!, Great Taste, Green Room IC, The Situation Room, and This Way Out by making a one-time donation or setting up a recurring donation at our website, KICIRadio.org. Just click on the donate button and become part of the team. KICI-LP. Low power, high impact.
On this Green Room IC, KICI welcomes back Wes Habley, a frequent visitor. This time, Wes talks to Beverly Mead about the Silver Swing into Spring concert taking place Thursday, April 20th at 7 p.m. The concert will feature big band music played by a 16-piece ensemble of the Iowa City New Horizons Band.
Everyone in the band is chronologically gifted. We have several people who are in their 80s in the organization. I think the average age of the group is 78. There are people who are taking up their instruments after 40 years away from them because it is giving them an outlet. There are also people who are excellent musicians who are starting to learn new instruments.
Hello, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of the Green Room IC. Today I have the pleasure of talking with Wes Habley of the Silver Swing Band. Welcome. It's so great to have you here. I love talking to you, Wes.
Thank you, Beverly. It's always good to chat with you, too.
That's great. Well, our audience members always like to know who's behind the mic. So, give us a little bit about yourself, like your background in music, where you come from.
Well,
the Silver Swing.
Sure. I was born and raised in the Chicago area, and I have a background, a degree in music from Illinois. But I decided early on that music was more of an avocation than it was going to be a vocation.
Okay.
So I have played in many amateur groups, semi-professional groups for my entire life. And so literally the Silver Swing is one of the bands I play in, but I also play in the DTKK band, which is the German band out of the Amanas, and I play in the Czech plus polka band out of Cedar Rapids. I am half Czech, and so that brings back memories of my boyhood.
All right.
And if you looked at my Facebook page, you will basically see something there that says I retired to do music. So I've been retired for almost 10 years now, and I've done a lot of music.
I'll bet you have. So tell us a little bit about the Silver Swing Band.
Well, the Silver Swing Band is an organization under the parent organization called the New Horizons Band. New Horizons bands exist in many locations throughout the country. They were first founded, I think, in 1991. The purpose of New Horizons bands is to provide musical experiences for folks over the age of 55. And the New Horizons Band in Iowa City is the parent organization for a number of ensembles and trombone ensemble and a flute ensemble and the Silver Swing, which is the big band. So
excellent.
Yeah.
So Wes, who is your conductor for the Silver Swing?
Thank you for asking that question, because we have a wonderful working relationship with the University of Iowa. All of the New Horizons bands and the ensembles in the New Horizons bands are led by students from the School of Music. And some are undergraduates who lead the small group ensembles, and others are doctoral students. The New Horizons Band itself is led by a doctoral student. The Silver Swing is led by Adolfo Mendonça. Adolfo is working on a doctorate in jazz studies, Adolfo comes from Brazil and has interjected a lot of Latin flavor into the Silver Swing Band. He is, I think he's finishing his doctoral program this year. But so anyway, we have a wonderful relationship with the university, and I think the New Horizons bands and its programs provide great opportunities for students in the school.
Well, that's great. Are all of your band members from Iowa City, or do they come from other places in the corridor?
Most are from the Iowa City area, but we have people from Washington. We have people from Riverside. We have one or two from, but basically Tiffin. So they come pretty much from the from the corridor, pretty much from the corridor.
Pretty much from the corridor. Well, that's great. Are they associated only with Silver Swing, or do they participate in other groups around the area as well?
Oh, well, the group itself is really interesting in terms of its composition, and that somewhere around half of the musicians are in the group are retired teachers, music teachers, or retired professional musicians. And I actually forgot the question you asked. I have to apologize. I was
That's okay.
there.
Well, basically, are they only in the Silver Swing Band, or do they participate in the groups?
Well, I think I already actually mentioned that I play in a number of other groups, and I think virtually every member of the Silver Swing plays in other groups. Some have their own small combos, Dixieland groups, and other kinds of things, and others play in municipal bands. And two of the people actually also play in the DTK band out of Amana. So they play all over the area. I think I tried to count up the number of organizations that they were involved with, and I stopped counting.
That's excellent, though. I'm glad that people are always involved in music in one way or another.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, your band members are of a certain age.
Yes, they are.
Could you tell our listeners what that certain age might be?
Well, let me describe it in general terms. Everyone in the band is chronologically gifted. And
I like that phrase. I consider myself chronologically gifted.
Yes, and we have several people who are in their 80s in the organization. I think the average age of the group is 78. I think we have a few younger members in their 60s. They're just young pups, but literally, we span 60s, 70s, and 80s. So
all right. How did it come about? I know we spoke briefly about the fact that you're associated with the Iowa City New Horizons Band.
Right.
How did it come about that Silver Swing Band became affiliated with them?
Well, that's a good question. It predates me just a little bit. There were several members in the New Horizons Band, which is a concert band in and of itself, of about 55 or 60 members, who expressed the interest in starting some kind of a jazz band, and it's morphed into the big band. I would say probably in the very early 2000s is when the Silver Swing started.
Okay.
But there are probably other veterans in the organization who remember that better than I would.
All right. We'll have to get some of them in here too and talk about New Horizons at some point.
Yeah.
And some of the other organizations that some of the members participate in. That would be great.
Right.
Okay. Silver Swing. I understand you performed at many venues over the years. Could you tell us a few of those venues and whether you have any upcoming events in the near future?
Well, sure. We almost annually play at the Arts Fest. Usually on the closing Sunday afternoon of the Arts Fest, and I believe we're scheduled to play again the first weekend in June. I think it's on the Sunday, but I do not know the time. This year so far, we played. We were invited to play at the Bridgewater, the assisted living unit in Coralville, and we played an hour-long concert there. We played a concert in our home venue, which is the senior center. We played a concert on March 29th.
Okay.
We have yet to come. The most important one is on April 20th. We're calling it the Silver Swing into Spring concert, which will be held at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts. Again, April 20th. We're hoping for a fairly large turnout because literally it's one of the few ways in which we can make the money to support the program itself. So,
Right. Right.
So after that, we do have the Arts Fest in June, and then we were playing in Solon on June 14th. I think every Wednesday night in the summertime, Solon in their gazebo has a musical group performing, so we're performing then. So that we traditionally also perform. The College of Education at the university invites us to perform at their homecoming. I guess they call it a brunch, or their homecoming events that are precede the homecoming football game. So we played elsewhere, but those are the main ones for this year anyway.
That sounds great. They are, as we say, well-seasoned musicians.
Right.
But do you and or your members support any organizations for helping up-and-coming artists in the area?
Well, we have, yes, we have sponsored. I have a brain aneurysm right now. A program that we to which we invite high school bands. It might be even on your cheat sheet there, Bev, but I forgot what the name of it is. But anyway, yes, we do that. We haven't done it on an annual basis, but we think it's really important to continue young people's interests in big band music, and so we've done about 5 of those concerts that to which we invite local high school jazz bands to play, and then we play the final set. The last one was a year ago, November. We were not able to schedule one this year. But.
Oh, okay. Well, if an organization is interested in being affiliated with you in something like that, how would they go about receiving assistance?
They certainly could contact the New Horizons program through the Senior Center. That would be one way, or to talk to any member of the steering committee. The Silver Swing Band has a steering committee, which includes some very familiar names in town. Jerry Zinn, who used to be the Northwest Junior High band director.
Right.
Bob Brady. Bob Brady used to be the coordinator of instrumental music for the school district. He's on the team. And Roscoe Porch, who is very active in the Musicians Union town, and myself. We are the 4 members of the. Oh, and also Steve Helcher. Steve Helcher is a trumpet player, and he is the current chair of the steering committee for the New Horizons Band, the whole program. So if someone's interested in establishing a program, or perhaps even exploring this opportunity to perform with us, we would love to hear from them.
Okay. I think I skipped a question. How many band members do you have currently?
The band that will right now we're at 16 band members. Okay. It's a full big band. It includes 5 saxophones, 4 trombones, 4 trumpets, a rhythm section, and I'm missing. We have a tuba player, a drummer, keyboard, and bass guitar, basically. So there are 15 that are actively involved right now.
Okay. Question out of nowhere. 100 years ago, when I was young, I played French horn.
Yep.
In high school. Do they ever have a French horn in a jazz band?
It's not typical, not at all in any way.
Okay.
But there are some interesting. I'd be hard pressed to tell you what the names are, but there are some interesting French horn jazz players, individuals who
Okay.
solo or have their small quartets or octets, quintets that play jazz. So
That's
but
great.
not
Great.
usually found in a big band.
Yeah, I didn't think so, but I was just kind of curious.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was out of nowhere. Okay. You have a concert coming up on Thursday, April 20th.
Right.
You said where, but say it again. Where is it being performed?
It's at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts.
Coralville Center, okay.
It's at 7:00. And we're hoping people will show up. The tickets are $7.50 at the door or via phone. They're more expensive if you buy them online through the Coralville Arts.
Sure.
Because they charge a convenience fee for the ticketing.
Right.
Yeah. So for people who are on limited incomes and want to see this, I'd recommend them calling ahead and ordering tickets for $7.50 or buying them at the door. The concert itself, we've got about 13 or 14 tunes that we're going to play on the concert, and they would include some of the traditional ones, some by some of the big bands. They'd include like Satin Doll and My Funny Valentine and Prelude to a Kiss and such. Bye Bye Blackbird is on the tune list. But we also have things that are more updated, not the kind of big band of the 40s and 50s, but newer jazz arrangements. One called Stolen Moments and one called Killer Joe.
Wow!
A couple of specialties that are on here is we are playing an arrangement of the famous tune Laura. But the arrangement's been done by El Golfo Mendonça, our conductor.
Oh, well, that would be something to hear, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. So, we're looking forward to doing that. We'll close our program with what has sort of become our theme song. It's called the Mudbug Strut, which is a New Orleans jazz kind of a deal, and kind of rocks the house. And I think if I recall correctly, there are 8 different soloists playing at some point in time during the Mudbug Strut. So,
I always love it when they've got solos.
Oh yes,
because I mean, then you can applaud that specific instrument or that specific player and let them know how much you're enjoying their music.
Yep. I like that Mudbug Strut specifically because I get the solo on clarinet.
Lovely.
And every other piece throughout the entire concert, I'll be playing alto saxophone. So anyway.
All right, great. Okay, so it's at Coralville Center for the Performing Arts in Coralville. For someone not familiar with CCPA, could you tell us where that's located?
Ooh, I don't have the address exactly. It's on Fifth Street in Coralville. It is right across the street from West Music. It's right next to the Coralville Public Library. And that's very near, right near, about a block away from Morrison Park in Coralville. And
That should give people some good ideas of how to get there.
Yep.
All right, because there are many people out there like me, please let us know, is this place handicap accessible?
Most certainly, yes. And there are spots in the auditorium itself that are reserved for those who are in wheelchairs or other assisted devices.
Okay, very good.
And yes, so very much accessible elevators and ease of movement.
All right. Well, the damdemic, and yes, I said that on purpose, and its complications have eased up somewhat. What have you been doing, if anything, to ensure the safety of your band members and crew?
Wow, well, that's at this point in time, with the exception of a few medical offices, everything seems to be optional. At the Coralville Center, the use of masks is recommended but optional.
Okay.
I think that's the way it is in most places.
Well, that's going to be my next question.
Right. The band itself, at the height of the pandemic, the bands did not meet. We basically abandoned playing for probably, I would say, not quite a year, from the middle of 2020 through May of 2021, probably.
That's a hell of a situation for people like you and me,
right,
who are so blessed with being able to perform or be involved in theater and music in any way. So
right.
that was,
Interestingly enough, though, that during that time period, the New Horizons band, which is the big band, actually rehearsed via Zoom through a program that's called Smart Music. I did not play in the band at that point in time, but it's a program called Smart Music, whereby you tune into the Smart Music station, and an organization is playing the music, the band music, and you seated in your own home have your instrument and your music to play along with the band.
All right.
The New Horizons band did that for probably well over a year. I'm not sure exactly when they stopped it, but literally they kept our music going.
Oh, well, that's excellent.
One of the real benefits for the individuals involved is to maintain social contact, and that stuff I mentioned about the Smart Music and the Zoom probably saved a bit of sanity among most of the adult members who participated in it, because it was still a way to make music and while being safe. So yes.
Yeah, because I know I'm also a member of the choir, and that we had so much difficulty being safe during that time frame. We had to spread way out, or didn't rehearse at all. Tried doing it just plain via Zoom, and everything, the timing was off. So it's like you'd be playing this phrase of music, and we'd come in about here and be off, and so it didn't work. I'm going to mention this to our director, Alex Heatland, and see if he'd be interested in checking it out, because it
seemed to work very well for the people who participated, and it I think it was really helpful to those, particularly this is an older age group, probably far less likely to exhibit any risky behavior. So the chance to continue to make music was probably a real positive for them during the course of the pandemic.
That's right. Well, Wes, we've been talking about the ability of people to get together. or not because of the damdemic. But it has also occurred to me that there are other ways that being part of these bands is of benefit. And if you could tell us a little bit about that, that would be great.
As I interact with the people in the band, it is absolutely amazing how dedicated they are to playing. And what's quite remarkable about this is literally the ability levels vary greatly. And there are people who are taking up their instruments after 40 years away from them, because it is giving them an outlet. There are also people who are excellent musicians who are starting to learn new instruments, and so there are a lot of things going on like that. But it is socially connective. It's literally one of those. I mean, making music together is really great, but for people whose social connections are changing as they age, this is an unbelievable way to do it, I think.
Excellent. Okay, now many people need to coordinate schedules, babysitters, dinner, before or after the show.
All right, yeah.
Getting to and from the show.
Yes.
To help them in this regard, about how long does your performance run?
We will be probably from 7 p.m. till 8:30. Basically, it'll be an hour and a half, and there'll be a short intermission.
With an intermission, okay.
But clearly, we'll be emptying the house by 8:30.
All right, let's go about this question again. How would someone go about purchasing tickets for the show?
Okay, well, they can be purchased by phone to the Coralville Center. I'm sorry, but I do not have that phone number right in front of me.
That's fine. They can look it up.
So by phone or at the door. They can be purchased online also at coralvillearts.org. Those tickets are $1.50 more than the tickets at the door, because of the convenience fee that's charged by the ticketing company. So, but calling and reserving seats or buying at the door would be relatively easy.
All right, excellent. Again, the Silver Swing Band is presenting its concert at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts on Thursday, April 20th, with the curtain rising at 7 p.m. Well, it's time to close the curtain on this interview. Thank you again for being here today. As always, Wes, it's been a lot of fun, and I've enjoyed our time together.
Always.
Hope we can do another interview with you again soon.
The Green Room IC is an original production of KICI Radio in Iowa City. The host for this episode is Beverly Mead, with production by Craig Jarvie. Visit KICI's SoundCloud page to hear this and other Green Room IC interviews.